Hey guys, welcome to Treadmill Review Guru. I'm really excited. Today we get to take a look at the Hydrow rower. This is one of the new rowers on the market. It is very smooth. It has electromagnetic resistance, so it's extremely quiet to use. And as you can see, it has a lovely 22-inch touchscreen attached to the front with over 1,700 workouts to date. It's got live workouts, recorded workouts, challenges, races, lots of different functionality built into that app. So let's take a closer look at how it feels and the overall construction. First, let's take a look at who the Hydrow is best suited for. There's lots of rowers on the market and they all have a little bit of a different feature that they offer you. And the Hydrow is unique in a few specific ways. One, as I mentioned, it has that electromagnetic resistance, which basically means that unlike an air rower or a water rower, it's not moving air or water when you pull on that stroke. So it's much quieter to use, and I'll demo that for you in a minute. So this is great for people who want the benefits of rowing. Maybe you live in an apartment or a place where you don't have a basement and you want to be able to use your rower during daytime hours when other people are around. So this is very well suited for people who really need a quieter rower. As you can see, it has that 22-inch touchscreen attached to the front. So it's well suited for people who are looking for programming and content. So if you're somebody who's used to just jumping on a Concept 2 and rowing your own program and you love the freedom to do that, then this may not be the best scenario. But if you love the benefits of rowing, but like me, after about 15 minutes, you're like bored, this is great because it gives you instruction, guidance, tips, keeps you engaged. Most of their rowing sessions are filmed outside, so you can both see and hear the water. So it's really good for those people who are looking for more interactive feel, more engagement while they row. It doesn't fold up. So unlike a few other rowers that we've seen that are split at the track, where you can hinge, unfold the rower in half, this one does not fold. You can lift it. The touchscreen will bend down slightly. It will pivot here at the anchor and drop down to the neck of the rower, and then you can invert it and store it vertically, but you do have to buy a separate storage kit from Hydrow to secure it when it's upright because it's a little heavier. So it's a little harder to store and it doesn't fold. So that's something else to be aware of depending on your space and what you have available in your home. This rower is very strong, but it's 145 pounds. So it's a little heavier to use and heavier to move around. And the other thing to be aware of is it's on the higher price end. And then you have a $38 a month subscription for that Hydrow content. It's great, it's engaging, but you have to factor that into the overall value of the machine. So just kind of a few insights into who this may be best suited for. So let's take a look at the overall construction of the Hydrow rower. This is a little bit of a bigger rower, and it doesn't fold up, but you do have a very narrow footprint. So it's only about 25 inches wide, just a hair over 2 feet. It's 86 inches long, which is actually 10 inches shorter than the Concept 2 rower. So it looks big, but it's actually a little bit shorter in the footprint than the Concept 2. And to the height right here to the top of the screen is 47 inches. A few other things that I measured. Your track height to right here is 14 inches and up to the top of the seat is 16 inches. So actually a little more height right here, about 2 inches higher than the Concept 2, which makes it just a touch easier to get on and off. Your foot pedals and footboards are pretty standard. They're about 12 inches long and about 8 inches wide. So you've got some nice width there. And they do have these adjustable foot pedals on the top, so you can make it work for different size users. You have 10 rollers underneath this seat, and it really rolls very, very smoothly. And the track is nice and smooth as well, so that there's no hiccups or any catches as you move along through that drive. And I really like this seat. It's just a little more comfortable. I can't say it's more padded, but what it is more cushion. And this nice cutout here at the back makes it so that your tailbone doesn't rub, especially on longer rowing sessions. So it's contoured to be comfortable. One thing I really like about the design of the Hydrow is that the body itself has a very nautical feel. To me, this looks like a rowing scull. And even these legs down here kind of look like fish fins or something. I don't know. I just like the look of it. I think it's really nice. It's a little bit of a lighter gray on top, and then you've got the charcoal body down underneath for just a touch of contrast. The 22-inch touchscreen here at the top, if you keep your rower plugged in, it will automatically time out. So in a second it might go dark, which it will do if you're not rowing. But as soon as you sit on the rower and start to pull on that handle, it will power on, which is nice. And it brings up all your different programming options. So this does require Wi-Fi. You do have to have an internet connection, and you do have to pay for subscription content. If you don't pay for the Hydrow content, it just leaves you at the main login screen and doesn't provide any metrics, really doesn't give you any functionality at all. The machine itself weighs 145 pounds, so it's on the heavier side, but you do have transport wheels up here at the top, so you can lift it. I'll show you. I mean, it's heavy, but you can lift it, which is nice, and just kind of move it gently out of the way if you need to. And you can see how smoothly that seat rolls. It just glides right along there. Your max weight capacity is 375 pounds. So this really should support most users. And I like that rather than climb up and on something to use, you're able to sit down a little closer to the ground, which makes it well suited for people that may have joint limitations or maybe other things that they're working through. So it is Bluetooth enabled. It will sync with both chest straps and wireless headphones, which is very nice. And you do have adjustable drag factor. So inside pretty much any program, all you have to do is click the screen and you can adjust that drag factor up or down, which gives you more customizable resistance. You have a full 5-year warranty on the frame, which is really impressive, and then 1 year on parts and labor. So let's take a look at the console and specifically the functionality of the app, everything that Hydrow offers in the app right now. So when I first start my machine, it will ask me to log in with my profile. I just hit my name, and this is the first screen that it brings up. So this is kind of your home screen or your main screen right here. And it will bring up the highlighted workout of the day. This is actually a Pilates workout to strengthen and stretch for people that have been on the rower or using the rower a lot. And then you can see if I just kind of move down, it brings up different options. So this is where Hydrow really offers an extensive library of training and different camps and things like that. So right here you've got a trip. So I have 6 different destinations that I can choose from. And none of these are very long, which I think is perfect because a lot of times when you're sitting down to just do a rowing session, you may only have 10 minutes, 15 minutes, right? And then you've got different training camps. So you can see right here, I've got a training camp beginner, sprint, intermediate, and advanced. Let's do advanced for now and just see what's in here. So they're recommending 4 workouts a week for advanced rowers. These are sweat and drive options, and they're a little longer. So you can see you've got 30 minutes here, and then you can see they do have live rows. So these are upcoming live rows that you know you can tune in for. You got a 20-minute drive with James Dietz coming up in about 20 hours local time. So they will list the ones, these are today and these are going to be live tomorrow. So just an option. And then they'll also have a featured workout of the day with different trainers. And then as you move down, you can see that you've got different athletes. If you have one specifically that just kind of speaks to you, that you really like their rowing style, their instruction, their cueing, you can go through and opt to row with a specific trainer if you'd like. And then most popular rows. And right here, this is something that's great for people who need just a little bit of rowing technique support, intro. So this is how to row, and these are like, I want to say this one's less than 2 minutes. It's just a quick overview of rowing, how to set your drag, things like that, and then learning to row. And they just kind of help you with rowing technique, rowing form, things like that. So this is your home screen with all those different options. I can jump straight to library, and they've done a really good job of filtering here at the top. So this is your filter option. You can filter by athlete. Once again, it brings up all those trainers. Duration from 1 minute, which we saw an option, up to 45. Workout time, drive is the most challenging, sweat is intermediate, and then breathe is a little bit more of active recovery, staying in that aerobic zone. You also have warm-up, cool-down, journeys, learn to row, and on the mat. Learn to row are those videos we just barely saw. One thing I do want to show you. Journeys is rowing segments that you can choose that do not have a trainer. So this is just a 5-minute row right here, and it's on the Charles River, and it does not have a trainer leading the row. So it would be like a landscape video that you'd see like on the Peloton bike or whatever, where you can just row as if you were out there by yourself, just enjoying the day. And these are really nice options when you want more of a just row option. So you can run intervals in there. You can do like a distance challenge based on your metrics or whatever. So Journeys gives you the option to kind of customize and design whatever your workout you feel like you want to do that day that's not specifically led by a trainer. So that's something else to consider. Racing, this is cool. So this will have different teams and rowers, and they can go in and they will have races over here, a weekly meter race. So this right here, this 15-minute country climb row, this is the current highlighted race, and all these people have done the race, and this is their meters. So you can be involved in racing, which is really fun. And you don't have to tune into a specific time or class. You can kind of do it whenever you want to, and then you enter your metrics as part of meter leaders and stuff like that. You can also set up a team if you have other friends that also have a Hydrow and you want to race as a team. That's really fun. If we come back here, we'll go to the library, and I'm just going to demo one real quick rowing session so you can kind of see and hear how it sounds. You'll notice up here, they just recently added this in the last week, and this is kind of a favorite. So if I favorited this the other day, but if I come down here and let's say I want to favorite that one, and I want to favorite this one, and I want to favorite this one, then when I come up here, it's going to bring up those workouts that I have favorited, so I can easily find them later. So that's really nice, and it kind of allows for just more customized filtering. So let's start. As you can see, some of these are filmed up on a rooftop just above the bay, and others are filmed right on the water. But let me show you one that's filmed right on the water so you kind of have an idea. Right down here, it will tell you if your Bluetooth is connected, so you can connect to wireless headphones. It will tell you if your heart rate is connected, your heart rate monitor. And then right here is where you adjust the sound and drag settings. So as I demoed earlier, you've got adjustable drag, and they recommend setting it between 1 and 130 for beginning rowers. And then you have a volume option up here. So this is your main volume, but I can change it so that I get more music, more athlete only, or their kind of original mix. We'll stay with that so you can kind of hear how it sounds. But you just click on that and it will automatically bring that up. So as soon as I'm ready to row, I just pull this up, and over here's your leaderboard. So you can see I'm down here at the bottom, Guru down 76. Let me turn this up.
We are on the Charles River for a 20-minute breeze. I'm so excited to be out here with you guys. Perfect weather. You're gonna see the leaves.
So whenever I adjust that, it does bring up that screen to kind of let me know where the volume is. You get a lot of volume. And here's the other thing that's nice, front-facing speakers. It might seem just intuitive to have speakers on the front, but we've demoed equipment where the speakers are on the back, so the sound projects away from you. It's really nice that it's right here on the front. So I'm gonna turn her down just so I can talk a little bit. But you can see down here gives you your metric display, and I'll start to row in a second, and then right over here you have your leaderboard. I'm gonna move that out of the way just so it's not in the way. So as I come down here and start to row, my metrics are going to show up there on the screen. So it gives you strokes per meter, your 500 meter average, total meters, calories. If you have a connected heart rate monitor, it will show up over here. And it also lets you know how much time you have remaining in that class. And then you have a chat bubble up here, which at first we didn't know what that did, but this is a really cool feature. It will bring up automatically your email, and you can, right in the middle of the program, whenever you think about it, you can give feedback directly to Hydrow. And they are actually quite responsive. We've tested this out, and they typically respond within 48 hours. So that's really cool that you can do that right on the machine. We like that a lot. If I want to exit out, I can stop the program anytime I want to. It will tell me what I did. That's my workout history. And it will always prompt you to do a quick cool down, which is recommended anytime you finish any row. Even if you do a 5-minute program, it will tell you to do a 5-minute cool down, which is nice, just to give you that option for recovery when you're done. So back to our main screen, you can just kind of see there's a lot of really in-depth functionality and some great content on the Hydrow. Let's take a look at the functionality. That's what really matters on a machine, especially a rower like this. So let's start off with how you sit on the rower. As I mentioned, the seat is very comfortable. You got a little bit of contouring here, and it slides really smoothly. Your footboards, you have that supportive footboard back behind, and then you have the adjustable foot pedals in front with a strap that goes around the widest part of your foot there at the top, kind of supports so the ball of the foot connects directly with this textured area up here at the top. And these are adjustable so that you can pop them up and down depending on how big your feet are. And they do have the adjustable, liftable heels right here, which allows for a little bit of ankle flexion while you're rowing, which is important for ergonomics. It just enables that flexion to keep your hips, knees, and ankles in alignment, and so you don't have built up tension in there. So those foot pedals do raise up off the footboards just a little bit. The handle right here secures right down at the bottom of the catch. And the main difference that I've noticed with this handle and the Concept 2 is the Concept 2 is vented here in the front. So you can kind of put your fingers in if you want to do like a one-armed row or whatever. This doesn't have that option. It's just a solid centerpiece right there. But otherwise it's very comfortable. You have a little bit of just kind of textured grip right here that's comfortable to hold, and then end pieces that make it so that it doesn't rotate on and off. And then unlike other rowers, this has a belt drive rather than a chain. So the belt is quieter and it requires less maintenance. You don't have to lube it or really do anything with it. And this is like a seat belt material. So it's very sturdy. It would be extremely difficult to break or even cut. And it's flat. So as you can see, it's a little longer on the top and then very, very narrow on the side. So it doesn't wrap around itself as it goes back inside the neck of the rower. If I sit right down here at the catch, I have good flexion here in both my ankles and my knees. I can lean forward with my hips and easily reach the bottom of that catch where I would engage with the handle. And sometimes on rowers, the thing that I've noticed is that when you throw a screen on the front, it changes the ergonomics on the rower just a little bit. Those who are taller may end up looking down a little. Those who are shorter may have to adjust their gaze up. And because you have to have good posture on the rower to be able to really get the most out of that rowing stroke, you want to keep your gaze straight ahead and keep your spine in alignment. So the top of your head all the way down to that tailbone has good support and good alignment all the way through that drive. And you do really get that here on the Hydrow. They've raised the height of this just a little bit, so the neck is a little higher. The point at which the belt emerges from the neck of the rower is 27 inches off the ground, which is about 2 inches higher than on the Concept 2. And I think what that does is it just allows for that touch screen to be lifted just a little bit so that your visibility is really good. You're not looking down, but you're also not looking up, regardless of where you are in that drive. So that makes a difference. As you can see right here, the screen does pivot. It will angle up just a little bit. I think it pivots up and down 15 degrees and side to side 25 degrees. And as I sit here on the rower, it's really pretty easy to reach, and I never feel too close or too far away. While we're down here, I just want to demo a few different things, mostly so you can see how it moves and functions, and so you can hear the noise that that rower makes as I'm on the machine. So I'm just going to start rowing. I'm not going to do a program or anything. And you can hear there is a very slight whirring. There is a flywheel in there. So as you pull through the drive, that flywheel rotates inside the body of the rower that produces just a subtle little whirring sound. You can kind of hear it. I'll row really heavy in just a second so you can hear the difference. But it's very subtle compared to the noise that is generated on other rowers and even just other fitness equipment. So I've got my screen volume all the way down, and I've increased my drag factor all the way up to 300, and let's see how much of a difference that makes on noise. So I can feel there's significantly more resistance as I pull through that drive, but it doesn't make any more noise. Or at least I don't think it does. So let's bring it back. And as you can see, that's just kind of what you see on this row. I just picked one that wasn't led by an athlete. But at any point, if I'm in my class or doing my workout, you can adjust the drag factor right on the screen. So that's really nice. So let me come unclipped here. It's easy to get both on and off the rower, which really helps as well. And it's a good option for users of all different sizes. So your maximum inseam length I think the track will go back and support an inseam of like 36 inches. So it should work really well for tall people. And then of course, shorter people like myself have plenty of space anytime they get on the rower. So as you can see, there's a lot to love about the Hydrow rower. I am very in love with this machine. However, it may not be perfect for everyone. Few things to remember. It's expensive, right? The machine itself is priced just over $2,000, so that's a chunk of change going into it. And then you've got to pay for a monthly subscription. Without the subscription, the machine really doesn't provide you the functionality that you would want. So it kind of is a package deal with that. So just something to be aware of. It's large, and unlike other rowers, it doesn't fold up. You can store it vertically, but you do have to buy the additional kit just for safety so that it's kind of secure when it's lifted. It has somewhat limited functionality if you just want to sit on it and row and just design your own program. They've got those journey workouts in there, but for those of you who may be used to the Concept 2, where you can do a rowing program based on an expected calorie burn, distance, meters, wattage, whatever, it doesn't quite have that functionality yet. So just a few things to be aware of. However, some of the things that we absolutely love. This rower is comfortable. I don't get sore glutes and sore tailbone and where I could row longer, but I'm just done being on the machine. This is actually quite comfortable so that it allows you to enjoy rowing for longer, to get more out of those longer rowing sessions without getting uncomfortable on the seat or just sitting low on the rower. The second one, it's smooth. As you slide back and forth, that seat just glides like it's a very smooth action rower, and it's extremely quiet, which is another big thing with rowers. A lot of times people love rowing and they really want a rowing machine, but having one at home can be an issue because they can be loud. So this is very quiet, it's smooth, it's comfortable. It's ergonomically designed so that it should work for pretty much anyone. The seat measures about 16 inches off the floor, which makes it a little easier to get on and off. You don't have to go down quite so low. And it's really good for anyone that might have joint issues, mobility issues, be working through an injury, anything like that. Rowing is exceptional. The resistance is consistent. So one thing with electromagnetic resistance is sometimes you can outrow it. Like if you pull hard enough through that drive, you can outrow the resistance and just kind of be left with a floppy belt there at the end. The resistance on this is consistent throughout the drive, and then the recovery is very smooth. So the action has been calibrated to be consistent throughout that rowing stroke, which is really nice, which is another reason why it's just comfortable and easy to use for longer. The programming is engaging. So for those of us who might be landlocked like us, I live in the desert and I love rowing, but I don't have the option to get out and row on the coast very often. And this really brings that to you. It brings that experience home into your personal space. You can hear the water, you can see the water. It really makes it feel like you are rowing on the water, which makes a huge difference. And it supports up to 375 pounds. So really it should work for users of most sizes. And that maximum inseam length is like 36 inches. So it works for tall people, short people. It's just a great option. So lots of good things to consider about the Hydrow. We're really impressed with this rower. We're happy to have it here and to be able to use it and enjoy it and to compare it with some of our other rowers. So stay tuned. We're gonna have a few more reviews. We'll compare this with the Concept 2, one of the Nordic track rowers, stuff like that, just to kind of give you an idea. So for a detailed written review about the Hydrow, make sure and check us out at treadmillreviewguru.com. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. We'd love to know what you think of the Hydrow. And for current pricing, make sure and check the link in our summary. And as always, my name's Casey. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you again soon.